Rich dark compost with ivy, peanuts form a B, sunflower seeds an R, camellia sticks a Y, palm fronds A, daisy heads N. Bryan.
Episode 5.
Chard of the Bright Lights Brigade.
A tray of chard plants.
As I said yesterday, it's about time I potted up this chard. I'm going to grow some of it in pots and maybe put some of it in the open ground. Now, I do like doing this zoomy thing now. Let's have another go. That should be out then.
The camera focuses in on the plants.
I wonder if that's done it. Probably.
It focuses on individual veins in the leaves and out, showing a neighbouring tray with a pink African daisy in a pot.
Okay, now we're going to take amateur camera work, amateur filmmaking to a whole new level. Low level or high level will yet to be determined. I've got a real bug now for this filming my own content. So let's have a go. I'm not sure how it's going to work because I'm going to need two hands to do the potting up. Right, so I've got my chard here and I've got my tray that I'm going to work on here. Oh!
He finds the daisy.
So I'm just going to put a plant, I don't know, might be a large daisy or something. Right, well he can come out. So that's my tray for where I'm working. So what do we do? Hold on. Oh, more of them here. Right, as I say, might not be the most smooth of filmic experiences. Right, so let's swap hands. Oh yeah, let's use a rubber glove on one hand. So it's getting my nails too encrusted. And we're going to do this. Now this tray has got holes in underneath, so you can pop up the plants. It's a really well insulated tray. Now, should I put the camera down, do you think? Or try and hold it? Sit on my knee. No, that's going to be no good. Right, about that. Bounce it there.
He takes hold of the tray of chard.
Who knows, we might be reaching new camera angles here. Right,
Bryan reaches for a plant with his other hand.
let's go for this nice specimen. Push that up. Out he comes. Right. Now, because the soil here, probably best to
He puts the tray down.
get my pot ready first. Then it can go straight in. So, pots. Let's go for this
He chooses an empty pot.
smaller pot for that one. Now, this mix here is... Oh, should we try to zoom in on that? No, it might be a bit boring. This mix here is my own compost, which I leave to mature for a long time in the compost bin. This probably is 2 years old. And I mix that with some ordinary compost bought from B&Q and mix that together with a sprinkling of fish blood and bone. Not sure what the vegans would make of that. Now, because it's about half of this is my own compost, you're going to find what's that, a lid of a something, jam jar, pickle jar in there. That must have got into the veg peelings, I don't know, over a year ago probably, because I hadn't added anything to that compost bin since last season, so it's probably about 9-10 months left with nothing being added to it, and the stuff at the bottom of the heap would have been at least 2 years old. So let's get rid of that. Sometimes you get the odd bit of plastic sweet wrapper or something in there, so that can go into the dustbin and be saved from the natural environment. And then you get the odd sticks, and what is that? Dread to think. Right.
A shoelace?
In the past I'd sent it through the sieve, but this stuff is particularly fine and crumbly, as they call it. A few tweaks and things in there, but it doesn't matter. And because it's potting up, I don't care really if it's rough. Right, so I'm going to get my pot here. Fill that up.
Bryan scoops some of the black, crumbly compost out of a large flower pot into a smaller pot. Several pieces of plastic come with it.
I just get I don't know what colour this compost is. I get the impression it's sort of dark and got the feeling of being really nutritious.
He finds another piece of debris.
Now, look, the bit that look at that. What that is. A little weed root or something hasn't rotted down. Although the compost heap is a good environment for stuff growing in it, so maybe things grow. Now, how much space shall I leave for my plant to go in? Don't want to underdo it, don't want to overdo it, so let's leave a big well in the centre there. Again, all one-handed. I wonder if that... So shall I leave the pot in there, extract the plant?
He locates it by touch.
Where are we here? Yeah, you get my point of view now. You can't see. Now, I did do myself a tea, which probably appeared in the back of the shot, actually. Stuck it at the back here, yeah. There's a bit of a theme going on with this week's videos.
He finds the mug of tea and picks it up.
Perhaps I should be sponsored by a tea company, which is appropriate, because tea is a plant. It'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it, having to go to India or China or both to look at where tea plants grow best. Although we have got tea plantations in Cornwall. Now, what was I doing? Yeah, I've got to extract that plant. So, shall I try that technique of? Well, I suppose in the edit you could cut this bit out if it's dull.
His hand reaches in to find the plant in its white polystyrene tray.
Well, I wonder if I go like that.
He moves the pot of compost so he can get closer to the plant.
Model up like that. Then
He grabs the tray.
Which one was it? Third one along, I think. I fancy doing first. That one. There we are. It's coming out. Coming out. Whee. Ooh. That's a bit dry.
A stalk drops off the little plant.
What the? Cool that. There we go. Let's have a look at that one.
Bryan displays the plant and its root ball.
In view. And, yeah, a bit dry. I don't want to be had up for chard neglect. Right, in we go with the... old plant. Let's put it in, and then you can just imagine that bit, and then in we are there.
The pot sunk into the compost with the plant in it.
Ooh, how's he doing? Makes this a nice square shape, doesn't it? Right, if we can get a bit of soil off the base, then he can sink a bit better down. I should be doing that with me glove tan, shouldn't I? Right, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? Sort of central. Yeah. That's a bit of guesswork. Right, and then I'll fill that in. Could be delicate not to damage the leaves. Now, what else do we know about chard? Why is it now the common name? Swiss chard, and nobody really knows why it's Swiss chard. It doesn't. Swiss chard is Mediterranean.
He firms up the earth round the plant with his gloved thumb.
That's why I leave it without the glove, so I can get better sensitivity and check with the hand. I've got more control over that. Thought I could hear a bit of... Yeah, look, a bit of plastic. Oh, what? What? bad. Plastic in there again. As I get into the veg peelings bucket and then get put out. So, he's a bit floppy, isn't he? Got to be careful here. Right, let's do it with my ungloved hand. More sensitivity. Yeah, chard. So, Swiss chard, and they thought that it might have been named by a Swiss, or cultivated, I suppose, by a Swiss botanist, or somehow, maybe the...
He presses the earth with bare fingers.
Latin name or something. Scientific name was given by this scientist called, what's he called? Carl Koch. Yeah, so it could have been Koch chard, but anyway, that's C-O-C-H, I think, Koch. Anyway, but he's not Swiss anyway, he's German, so he wouldn't have been called Swiss chard, so nobody knows. But it is used in a Swiss recipe of a kind of dumpling, capans or something, I think. It's a Swiss dumpling where you get...
The plant is viewed from above.
Spargel flower.
He carries on firming the compost around it.
And dried meat. Spargel flour dough, dried meat, and then that's all wrapped in a Swiss chard leaf, and then simmered in a milk and water solution. Apparently very popular in that part of the world.
Bryan adds more compost.
So, it seems so delicate, but last year I went through the same sort of process, and they grew to like 2 foot high giant plants. So let's see, got that one. No, I didn't really need my tray, did I, for working in? Because I've been working in the tub of compost. Right, now, is that going to be... It's all very floppy, isn't it?
He's put the plant back in a tray.
Time will tell.
The leaves are limp.
No, it's not broken. The roots are all there, and firm it in. Oh, yeah, you see, they've got to be careful. There's that weed from my compost, or is that something to do with the chard?
He tugs at a string of black plastic embedded in the pot.
What is that? What is that? It's like, ooh.
As he pulls, the plastic starts to dislodge the plant.
Drinking plastic. Where's that come from?
He yanks harder.
Weird. Like a stringer. Right. Make a note to be extra careful about plastic getting into the compost. Yeah.
He pulls it out.
And a stringer. Maybe cut off a compost bag or something. Weird. Right, I've got rid of it now.
His hand reaches for the plant.
So, have we damaged our plant? No, we haven't. Delicately does it. Really interesting process, all this. Good. There. It's fairly moist, so I don't even think it needs any water for the moment.
He presses the compost around the plant.
Check on that this evening, or maybe first thing tomorrow morning. Great. So one down and a whole heap of chard to go.